I am God's masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus for good works. Ephesians 2:10. Hi, beautiful people. Keep my company while I tackle most of the packages that I had in my MGWay, and as I verbalize my intrusive thoughts about finances, most specifically about finances in your 40s. Nobody really prepares women for the financial reality of your 40s, especially in this economy and in this administration. Are you making enough money but still feel behind? That usually means your money isn't working for you. You might have income, but it's going to bills and not assets. You're supporting too many people, which is a plight that many of us face, especially if we have living, soon to be elderly or currently elderly parents. Or simply you never built a real strategy. And it's very important to be informed about the ever-changing financial vehicles and investments one can make to secure their current position and their future, especially while needing to prepare for retirement. The issue isn't always income. A lot of the times the issue is direction. Like, comment, or share if this resonates with you. Are you confident in your current financial position? If so, how did you get there? Did you marry into wealth? Or did you invest in financial vehicles to help solidify your current financial position? If you are on the opposite end of the scale, do you currently feel like you are or need to start over financially? Many women in their 40s are restarting after the children leave the nest, restarting after divorce, or restarting after life just simply lifing, aka an unplanned hardship. Recovering from poor financial decisions initiated from yourself or others can be an uphill battle to climb. Or this can be simply that you are first finally taking control of your finances for the first time. Starting over at 40 is not a failure, it's awareness. And awareness is where wealth starts. Most of our most wealthiest men and women did not become financially independent and free until their early 50s and beyond. So there's still time yet. I want to pause for a second, not to slow down the conversation, but to give context to the journey. For nearly a decade, I built stability working in government. It was structured, predictable, and in many ways safe. But then I was presented with the government then called the fork in the road, aka the buyout. On paper, it looked like a financial decision. In reality, it was a life decision. Stay where it's comfortable or step into something uncertain, but potentially transformative. But for me, it was an easy decision because there is no benefit in doubt. So I took the buyout. I chose certainty because uncertainty gives me hives, and gambling with my livelihood is a non-negotiable. And there comes a part that people don't really always like to talk about, and that's decision making. Decisions that come with real immediate consequences. All of this being said while surrounded by multiple packages where I decided to proceed to check out on multiple occasions to the point where I am surrounded by beautiful brown boxes. You may not agree with this, but I decided to take the buyout. Taking the buyout meant facing a significant tax burden. One of those welcome to the next level moments with your dear old Uncle Sam. At the same time, life didn't pause. Bills still had to be paid, debt still had to be managed, and on top of that, I had to think about the bigger picture. The bigger picture is more than just surviving the present. I had to start planning intentionally for my future. Because based on my past experience and being able to see other people's past experiences, I understand and came to further understand that life doesn't just happen to us, it happens for us. Which meant securing health insurance without the cushion of a traditional employer's structure, which meant that I had to obtain a financial advisor. After obtaining a financial advisor, I had to put life insurance into place, not just for the sake of checking a box, but as protection for myself and my children. I also took out a long-term care policy while I'm still able to make clear decisions and proactive decisions. Actively building towards retirement instead of assuming it would figure itself all out and potentially leaving my health and wellness in the hands of the government, I decided to take accountability and put my life, my health, and wealth into my own hands. The harsh reality of it all is if I don't plan for my future, my family and others, like the court and the government, may have to, and my children may end up having to carry that burden. And I refuse to let that be my story. One, because it shouldn't be their burden if I can prevent it. And two, I can't trust these kids. Faith for me is not just passive, which is why I include a scripture at the beginning of every video that I make. It's not just believing that things will just simply work out. It's trusting God enough to do the work required, even when it's uncomfortable. It's discipline. It's stewardship. It's making decisions today that align with the life I'm praying for tomorrow. And I'm a huge proponent of the evidence of things. The evidence and the result of my past decisions. Choosing growth over comfort, even when it costs me in the short term. Learning new skills. I'm always in someone's course or classroom, just to keep myself up to date and up to speed of what's going on in these modern times. This may surprise you, but choosing growth over comfort, even when it costs you short term, is the best solution. Learning new skills in tech so that you can increase your earning potential and have more stability is the solution. Facing financial obligations head on instead of avoiding them is the solution. Also, structuring your life so your children or whoever you seem to deem worthy inherits assets and security so there's no confusion in the future is the solution. There's also a bigger truth here that people don't always say out loud. Transitions are expensive. Emotionally, mentally, especially financially, there's a cost to leveling up, but there's also a cost to staying stuck. And in my case, staying would have cost more and more and more over time. So the path forward is intentional and layered in my experience. I had to consider stability. To stabilize, I needed to get clear on cash flow, aggressively manage debt, and handle obligations like taxes without avoidance. Because owing taxes has never led anyone to any great outcome. I need security. I had to be secure. I had to lock in the essentials, insurance, emergency savings, and baseline protections. Scalability. I had to scale. I need to grow within tech, increase income streams, build skills that needed to keep me competitive, which resulted in me enrolling in school. to get my MBA. Sustainability. I needed to sustain, invest for retirement, plan long-term care, and create systems that outlive my active working years. There's more and more of our elders working as cashiers and manning the doors at Walmart and working odd jobs, things that I never used to see in my past. Generations before me were retired, able to assist in child rearing, able to assist in advising and giving structure and continue traditions. And now they're at work with our youth. Our youth and our elders are working hand in hand. This isn't just about making it through a transition. This is about righteousness. This is about doing what's right because it's simply right. This is about doing better because we're knowing better. This is about taking care of our bodies. This is about taking care of our mental capacity. This is about doing unto others as how you would like them to do unto you. There's just so much more pieces to the puzzle that's involved to make it whole. It's about building a life that makes sense long after the transition is over. If there's any one thing that I can emphasize, it would be that you can't separate faith from responsibility. You pray for provisions, but you also budget. You ask for guidance, but you also study and apply. Most people of faith understand that faith without works is dead. You believe for a better future, but you also build it, decision by decision. And it's okay to make mistakes. No one knows for sure what the future may hold, but this is the work that I've done. This is my story. And that's a decision I'm committed to. And this is a decision that I'm walking in. This is a decade where the truth shows up financially and emotionally. So many people are asking, why does money feel heavier in your 40s? And in my humble opinion, it's because the responsibilities peak. Kids are expensive, young kids, teenagers, young adults, kids going off to college. Your parents may need help. Siblings may need help, and it's up to your discretion who you want to help with your hard-earned money. But depending on who you are and how your heart, mind, body, and soul is set up, a lot of the times, if you can help, you're willing to help. And help, in my opinion, means that you're willing to give without looking for something in return. I always think that it is a good policy to only give what you don't expect back, just to avoid any conflicts. You're carrying more weight with less time to figure it out. Embarking on a new journey in uncharted territory can always be scary and a learning curve for anyone. I'm noticing a pattern in more women over men feeling more stuck financially right now. And I think it's because women have the drive to survive based on conditioning to just survive and not build wealth. to prioritize others over themselves, especially Black women, the women who feel that they need to fix a lot of problems that are not even their own. Also, the need to be comfortable but not strategic. Now reality is forcing a shift from survival to ownership. And a lot of time these transitions are coming at us in increments or coming at us all at once. Either way, they're coming fast and hard. And learning to adapt to new situations on the fly can give anyone anxiety, anyone depression, and anyone just feeling like they want to throw their arms up in the air and just give up. But the only way to eat an elephant, as they say, is one bite at a time. I wish I knew this earlier, but identifying the biggest financial mistakes is a life hack and a little cheat code. So, most people know that relying on one income is a risky business. This is the first time in my life personally that I've had one income. Maybe it's because I'm Jamaican, or maybe not, but it is the first time. And we'll get into it in the future, but it has not shown and proved to be the best decision that I've made so far. People know through experience of their own or maybe experience of others as to why one income is risky. If there is ever one disruption, a layoff, anytime that you are affected by burnout, anytime that you are affected by an illness, all of the above can equal instability. My usual MO is to have more than one stream of income, and I feel like that is one good solution. You can also enhance your skills, create a digital income, focus on income security and not just job security. It's important to focus on not choosing lifestyle over assets. In order to make sure that that doesn't happen, ensure your nice home and nice car doesn't come before you have investments. Looking stable but not being secure is a key indicator. To avoid that, try to shift from how do I look to what do I own. A clear difference between men and women is that men are more likely to ask for more money, insist on promotions, and invest. So women should not avoid investing out of fear of losing money, out of fear of lack of education, and out of fear of feeling that it's too late. None of it is true. Well, maybe the losing money part is true, but you need to weigh your risk and understand the market and understand your options and understand the percentage of risk versus the amount of money you want to keep safe to avoid huge losses at any time. It is a known fact that women tend to ask for less. due to fear of rejection or conditioning, and just always trying to look agreeable. If you don't advocate for yourself, for your income, for your health, trust that no one else will.
Directions say that you should use 2 if you want to hold up to 7 pounds, and then you use 4 if you want to hold up to 15 pounds. You rip off the sticky side, and you're ready to put it right on the wall. All I had to do is measure out where I want it to fall and stick it on. I wanted to make sure it would apply a lot of pressure. And then they want you to wait 1 hour for the adhesive to solidify and hold. After the hour, you stick them back in, and just like that, your picture frame is solid.
Now they fingers in the air with the CD bumping. We up, that's the new theme this summer. Work hard, play harder, that's the routine we under. Cash thorough, we the new team they loving. Them hot niggas that them hot girls dream of fucking.
So what should we do to focus and really lock in? It's important to have income expansion. What does increasing income actually look like? Asking for raises, pivoting into higher paying fields, ensuring you're utilizing job hopping strategies and techniques. It's set on average to start looking for a new position to gain more money in your field of expertise every 18 months to 2 years. Also, monetizing your skill set. You could utilize applications like Coursive to broaden your expertise in what you currently know, or learn new skills in tech or cybersecurity so that you can consult and be a freelance to bring in extra income. Contrary to popular belief, you can't budget your way into wealth. You need to earn more. You need to have a debt strategy. Should you pay all your debts off first? Maybe, but focus on high interest debt first. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be strategic. There are many smart financial moves to leverage right now. Home ownership incentives and first-time homebuyer programs do exist. Even with high interest rates currently, there are still state and federal-backed advantages. In this current economic state and in this current administration, there are still some great things that we can take advantage of, like down payment assistance programs, first-time homebuyer credits. They vary by state, so you must look into your state to see what is offered. Seller concessions, more common in today's market because it is a buyer's market. And this matters because the market has shifted. It being a buyer's market, the buyers are more motivated and negotiation power is up more than it has been since 2021 and 2022 when I first started looking for a home. So I know firsthand. Getting closing costs covered and buying down your interest rate are great ways to take advantage of some wealth building opportunities. The area that I personally am going to start looking into is my company's EAP program. There's a lot of different movement going on within my company in particular, but I bet there's a lot of movement in other companies and other organizations as well. They're just not advertised, so we have to take a timeout, an hour a day, just to go on your intranet or your HR Direct page and just figure out what the company is offering to its employees. Look into higher contribution limits for your 401k or your IRA. Catch up contributions increase as you approach 50. So if you want to forego your raise, well, not forego it, but instead of seeing your raise in your check, you can put that 2% into your 401k or investment vehicles so that you can see a greater return, depending on what the market is doing, of course. This way, you can accelerate retirement savings fast, and that reduces your taxable income. If your job offers a 401k, you should be strategically increasing contributions, not leaving it idle. I'm also in the market for a new vehicle, but with the option to have a EV or gas vehicle, I still have to take some time to figure out what will be best for me in the future and currently. For recent federal legislation, there are very real saving opportunities available. You can claim solar panels for your home, energy efficient windows and doors, EV, like I'm looking into. They have EV credits, home efficiency upgrades, and these are all credits that you can get when you file your taxes as write-off when you itemize your taxes after you file for each year. These are dollar for dollar tax credit, not deductions. I would love in the near future to install solar panels on my home, and this will reduce my tax bill drastically. Timing is everything, so if I'm planning to make those type of upgrades, I must consider filing them and completing them so that I can really take advantage of those yearly tax deductions. Now, I, as many Americans, have student loans. I don't have a great deal of student loans compared to others, but I do have some student loans. And policies have shifted. Even though full forgiveness hasn't broadly passed, there are ways to leverage different tools to reduce your student loans. Some student loans have the option to be reduced because there are income-driven repayment plans available. There are public service loan forgiveness, PSLF, which I applied for and I didn't get nowhere. But that's just my experience. Don't let me deter you.
We in Venice, according to the passport, eating spinach, rolled up in little crab balls. Fast forward my last thought, I'm Flash Gordon. In the red stretch, burning up the asphalt. In a rush through to get where I'm going, cause like Logan, I'm running from my past, get where I'm going.
There are also tax credits for family independence, which are still relevant for many women in their 40s. You can use tax credits if your children or are under a certain age. They have dependent care credit and credit for educational expenses. I'm not taking advantage of those like I should, but I'm definitely going to look into it. These reduce your actual tax bill and not just income. Make sure you're not missing credits when filing, because many people do. So try to find a great CPA. Unless you do your taxes yourself and you're versed in different ways to itemize your taxes, look into getting some coaching or some help. You don't want to leave any money on the table. If your employer offers a health savings account, an HSA account, I'm assuming that most do. This is one of the most underused strategies. This has a triple tax advantage. I learned about this and I wanted to utilize it, but there was a learning curve and I just didn't take the time to figure it out. These are pre-tax contributions with tax-free growth, tax-free withdrawals for medical items, and visits to the doctor. Treat it like a secondary retirement account. If you have a high deductible plan, this is a must use strategy, and I'm not using it. We will have to table it and come back to that. I have used it in the past, but I lost money because I didn't use all the money that I allotted for my HSA. And if you don't use it by the end of the year, you lose it. So that kind of deterred me from signing up for it. But I did see the advantages, especially if you are one that needs to have dental care and procedures done. It does come in handy. There are so many new and old strategies that exist. It's not about chasing every new law. It's about aligning with what matters most. Focus on increasing income, reducing tax burden legally, investing consistently, and protecting what you build so you can reap the benefits of it all.
They checking for my wheels, ill, and I ain't even dead yet.